Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda, and this is Gizmo.
We're the Newcomers. It's another Mailbag Monday. If you don't know what Mailbag Monday is, we bring you the news from the villages as we see it, and a little bit of our own life mixed in there, and we sure are glad you're with us, and we hope you enjoy it. Today, no more chlorine pools in the villages.
And are the villages getting too big?
What does Linda like to bake for special occasions, holidays? We're going to show you.
And our embarrassing moments.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Amenity fees are going up.
All that and lots more. Hit it, Wally.
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
We saw Hermits at the Savannah Center.
Wow. I'll tell you, I've been to a lot of concerts. Elton John, Eagles, great stuff. But I haven't been to too many better concerts than Hermits put on at the Savannah Center. Peter Noon is the lead singer. He's been doing it since 1964, I think. And he is great.
Brought back a lot of great memories of our high school days. There's a kind of hush. Oh, you don't want to hear me sing?
No, that's amazing. Good job. Good job. He even took time out to do an interview with us, and you'll see that on an upcoming show. But what a great guy. Hey, the manatees are coming back. If you love nature and you want to do something special, go up to Crystal River. There are lots of places in that area. Well, in Central Florida, there are a lot of places. But Crystal River, around Three Sisters Springs, there will be a big congregation of manatees. And they're fun to watch, and it's great to go see them.
They're gentle giants.
You can rent a kayak, or you can go on a guided tour. You can go out on your own, just walk out the boardwalk at Three Sister Springs and see them. We caught them there a couple years ago with over 100. I went a few weeks ago and saw maybe 5 or 6. But they're, as the temperature drops, they get there in big numbers. So take advantage of this very special feature that we have available to us here in Central Florida. We showed you a couple weeks ago when that cold weather started rolling in, our plant situation. We were afraid. We didn't cover them up. We said, let nature take its course.
And nature did.
Nature took its course. Let's look at our plants. You can see the ones hit the hardest are the crotons. And they're just a pretty little landscaping plant. We'd had those for all 4 years that we've lived here. This one storm evidently wasn't even a storm. It was just cold temperatures was the worst we've had.
Yeah.
And I think they're gone. We're going to wait and see. I hate to replace them.
Yeah.
If they come back, we'd love that. But if they don't, we might replace them with more crotons.
I love them. I love the color, the bright oranges, the yellows, and the mixture of the color. I think they're very pretty. And now we should discuss the amenity fees.
That's right. The amenity fees have been raised again. It's all based on that consumer price index, and the base is going up to $189 a month.
Yikes.
Now, what was it 4 years ago when we moved here? Was it $159?
$149.
$149, $159. Yeah. Anyway, it's creeping up. We don't like it. But, you know, like my friend Tony Soprano says, what are you going to do? You know, the price of gasoline's up. You know, we've got to pay the landscapers. You got so many fees that are going up. If it didn't go up, we'd have to lower the amenities. And we don't want that. No. That's why we moved here, for these amenities. So you can expect to see a little raise in your amenity fee, unfortunately. Time for our good versus bad segment. We'll start with the compliment. James Ross sent us a really nice letter. Been thinking about you guys today. Keep your title. You're a welcoming committee of 2 with your energy and your attitude. Wow, you just lift my attitude in my retirement here in Arlington, Texas by your spirit.
Aww.
Keep it up. The world needs lots and lots of Jerry and Linda. Wasn't that nice?
Aww. That makes you feel good, doesn't it, Jerry?
It does. It made me feel very good till I read this comment by Rooster. Rooster says, about time you move out and go back where you came from.
Well, he sounds like an old rooster.
You know, it just shows you can't appeal to everybody. And we understand that. And we take it with a grain of salt. I don't think Rooster lives here, do you?
No. Did you hear me cackle like a hen?
You did. You sounded like a hen there. The Daily Sun published a really neat article on December 31st. You got a copy of it here, don't you?
I do. Looks
Right
like
on the front page of the Daily Sun. We're not going to go into too much detail with it, but it gives you lots of numbers, things that we get asked all the time. So if you can get a hold of that paper, or maybe you have it online, I don't know, and you can answer some of those questions like what's the population? They'll tell you it's over 144,000. About like Toledo, Ohio, or Peoria, Illinois, or Waco, Texas. It's a big city. It doesn't feel big though, because we discuss it all the time. We're in villages.
Yeah.
There are 729 holes of golf. That is a lot of holes of golf. 3 million plus rounds of golf were played last year.
Whew.
Right here in the villages. That's what you're here for. It's a golf community, free golf for life on the executive courses. There are 56 golf courses, and I think, what did you tell me, 42 of them are executive?
Yes.
12 championship and 2 pitch and putts.
Right.
And there are 112 rec centers. That is a lot of places to go have fun.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone to ours and it's been closed for cleaning. You know how far we have to go to the next one? About a half a mile.
That's right.
And we'll go to that one. And if that one was closed, we wouldn't have far to go to find another one. So it's a wonderful thing. Daily Sun, December 31st. Look that up. They've got a whole lot of numbers like that.
And this is from Dee and Jim. Directed to me. Linda, what is your traditional cooking for Christmas, such as cookies, candies, and special meals, knowing that I like to cook? Love your show. Christmas. I used to bake a lot of cookies at Christmas back home in Indiana, but since we've been here, I don't cook and bake as much. But I know growing up, my mom and my sisters, we'd be in the kitchen like a week or so before Christmas doing all kinds, like 7 or 8 different kind of cookies, and it was so much fun. Traditions, we used to have oyster stew on Christmas Eve. We don't do that because this guy don't like oysters. But traditional dishes, I don't really have anything.
Those New Year's meals like sauerkraut and cabbage.
That's New Year's Day, yes, that's right.
The question was, what did you make for the holidays? And we're going to show you you can see it up there now, some of the action around here when she makes her cookies. In fact, I talked her into doing a whole show, so she's going to show you how to make these delicious oatmeal cookies. We have a question on fees for recreation, and it is from fellow Hoosiers, John and Joe Udish.
Sounds good to me.
Are there any fees for the kayaks or water equipment? Have you tried fishing at the pier at Lake Okahumpka? And if so, can you use live bait? We investigated. No, we have not been down there. We've driven past it, but we haven't seen it. The pictures I've seen are beautiful, though. You know, I thought when I heard about that being introduced, I thought that'd be a nice place to live. Okay, they have kayaks. There is no charge, but they're going to be in a reservation system from what we understand, and they're starting to take reservations right about now. So get your reservation because they only have 9 slots. I think they're at 8 and 9 in the morning. You may be wondering, like I was, can I take my own kayak over there?
Right.
No, you cannot.
No.
So, I mean, it works out pretty good. 144,000 people, 9 kayaks. You know.
Oh, it's going to be a crowded kayak.
Should be okay. No problem. Can you use live bait? No, you cannot. Yeah, maybe they just don't want slimy bait, like they don't want you introducing shiners in there or minnows or maybe night crawlers. I don't know. But anyway, artificial lures only. We have not been there fishing yet. Probably won't go. If you have to stand on the dock and fish with artificial bait, my chances wouldn't be too good.
I don't know. I think you're a great fisherman. You can fish in a little puddle this big and catch a fish. I mean, always. We had fishing contests back home at our farm, and everybody would be ready to cast the first or 2 lines out, and he'd already have 10 fish. And we're going, what? Yeah. He's a great fisherman.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's catch and release only. We'll keep that in mind, and we probably will go down there and recreate. But I don't know if we'll be kayaking or not. Mike and Don Skalecki ask, what is your most embarrassing moment since moving to the villages? You first.
Here in the Villages, I don't remember being embarrassed.
You never wet your pants or anything like that?
It's daily. Hey, I've had many embarrassing moments back in Indiana. You're going to have to make a show on these, because one time I was in a Lowe's or Home Depot and a pair of my underwear came out the bottom of my pants. Jerry, I'll have to tell you that story.
What?
My laundry got caught in my pants and I didn't know it, and I'm leaving the store and there's a pair of my underwear falling.
Well, you know, she's real approachable, right? If you bumped into us, you know that we enjoy meeting you, and she especially does. And I remember the story in I'm going to call it the Publix, but it was our version of Publix, the JC food store.
Yeah.
Where a gentleman, he looked at Linda and he thought, hey, that's a nice looking lady. I'm going to see if I can get her to touch my belly.
Okay, let me tell you that story. He's over by the butter and he said, oh, you should buy this butter. This is the best kind of butter. I said, okay, I will. I forget even naming the butter now. But anyway, he says,
belly butter?
It's the best butter because it makes your belly hard. It doesn't make it soft. He says, here, touch my belly. Well, okay, so I did.
I come around the corner and she's touching this man's belly.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's bad.
Well, as for me, I've had a few embarrassing, I'm going to tell you the very edited, I get into a lot more embarrassing situations than she does, because I'm not quite as tolerant as she is. I'm a little more on edge. I'm going to say when I played water volleyball was one embarrassing moment.
Yes.
You know, I used to coach volleyball, and I know how to play volleyball, and I can bump, set, and spike. Water volleyball here is a little different, and you've got a team, and they're used to playing together, and you know, when you go in there, you're an interloper. So I played, and man, I'm diving and I'm trying my best. And they play for 2 hours. So I played for 1 hour with them. At the end of that hour, this lady comes up, and I'm thinking she's going to tell me, good job. She told me, you know, maybe you better get some instruction and come back some other time. So she kicked me out of the water volleyball.
This man has coached every sport there is to coach. I mean, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, everything. Everything.
Anyway. Then playing pickleball, you know, again, I'm trying to impress, and I go up to spike it, lose my balance, fall back, and bam, hit my head on the court. That was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Another time, I'm taking a package into the pack and ship. There's a line there. It's already got the postage on it. It's already got the stamps. It's ready to mail. All I got to do is drop it in the box. I walk up there, and there's a line of people, 15 people or whatever, waiting to go to the counter. So I just walk in to drop it in the box, and this guy jumps in my way. I didn't like that at all, and kind of got into a little altercation. He wanted me to wait in line, and which I eventually did. And I had to keep in mind that a lot of you people know who I am, so I have to be careful.
You gotta be good in
I gotta be on my best behavior. Lucky for him. But I've had more embarrassing moments than her.
This is from Tom and Sherilyn. Given all the time filming, editing, producing, etc. for your YouTube show and a strong presence on Facebook, how in the world do you find the time to reply to the hundreds and hundreds of constantly incoming responses? Is there some sort of auto reply that you've tapped into? Or have you figured out a way to get by without sleeping? Yep, Jerry doesn't sleep. He's a machine.
I get plenty of sleep, believe you
He's
me.
a machine.
We do like to answer your comments. You know, I figure if you take the time to say something to us, well, except for that clown earlier that told us to go back where we
go home.
I did not respond to him because I didn't want to get into another embarrassing situation. But we think that you deserve a reply, so we try. But I'm going to tell you, it's not uncommon for our videos to have 300 comments. And then on Facebook, we're doing the same sort of thing, and we might have 1,000 people like a video, or hundreds make comments, and we try to stay up on it. So if you see a reply, it's not from a robot. It's from either her or me, and we appreciate every one of them. How long does it take us to do a Mailbag Monday? Well, I'm going to tell you. It takes her 1 hour. It takes me about 15 hours.
I do the show and I sit here and do my smile, right? And Jerry, he does it all. He works so hard. It's the day we film, It takes an hour. And then he will spend editing probably 3 or 4 hours, and then the next day for 4 more hours. But he works hard. But
it's not as easy as it might look. You know, when you have to get the questions rounded up. People are emailing. Thank you for those questions, by the way. We have a nice little stockpile now. As they come in, I put them in a folder, and then we pull them, and we try to judge which ones haven't we asked lately. I should have some sort of database because I'm sure we repeat lots of questions, and we don't do that intentionally. We do have a turnover of viewership, and we try to just, whatever the questions or the hot topics, we try to touch them for you.
Yeah.
But it takes a long time. We really enjoy doing it. I got to admit, though, our viewership is growing, but our views are not growing. You know, we've kind of plateaued off there, and we'd appreciate it if you get all your friends to watch and view and comment. It helps our algorithm, and it puts us out there to more places. More people are suggested, so we appreciate you. Thanks for helping us keep it going. Kathy in Atlanta says, "Go Dogs." We've heard that the pools in the villages are saltwater. Does that taste bad? We all know that too much salt is bad for us. That is a timely question, because just today, or was it yesterday, I found out that they are converting every pool in the villages. That's about 110 pools.
Right. Wow.
To saltwater. Now, many people have been under the impression that they've been saltwater all along, but they have not been saltwater, but they're going to be, because it's much easier to maintain, and the price of chlorine has gone up, so they're going to switch over. Yeah. Every community pool like ours takes 2 of these big machines that they have to buy, and in the article I read said they're about $1,400 a piece.
Wow.
And some of the bigger pools, like the sports pools, take 4 of them. So it's a big project, but they're going to get it done, and I think the pools will be nicer. They said, don't worry about the amount of salt. It's negligible. You know, it's not going to be as salty as the ocean.
No.
It's not going to be bad for you, and it's actually going to be better for your skin and your clothes.
Yeah, well, I like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the question, Kathy, and I'm pulling for TCU. You know, something happened yesterday that I want to bring attention to. I was in the car approaching one of the gates here in the villages, and there was another car in front of me, so we were waiting to exit. So exit, you don't do much. You just pull up there, the gate raises automatically, and you go out. But at all the entrances, there's a crossing for golf carts there. Now, in our whole life, we learn that it's courteous to say, come on across. But that is frowned on in the villages, because that teaches carts to go in front of cars, something you never want to do.
Right.
It's dangerous, very dangerous. So the car in front of me let a cart go across, and they did so, and he went out safely. Well, now it's my turn, and I know I'm not supposed to, but the lady sitting there in the golf cart starts yelling at me about my bad manners.
Yeah, like etiquette. She was pointing at
But
it.
She was wrong. I was not supposed to let her go, but she, just on the rule of golden rule,
she was thinking 4-way stop. You go that way.
Well, she just thought it'd be courteous for me to let her go, because I didn't have a stop sign.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to let golf carts go at these intersections. You're supposed to proceed. They are supposed to wait until the coast is clear. Those carts are no match for a car when it comes to a collision.
Absolutely not.
Jean and Heidi Kinnear ask, are the villages getting too crowded? I understand the developer, the villages, master planning, and it's worked so well. But the outside apartments and the townhouses threaten to throw the formula out of balance. That's a great question.
You know what? That's not the village's problem. But it is going to be our problem because of all the people that are surrounding the villages now. Because they're all going to know they can come to the squares. They can come to the movies. They can come to our restaurants. It is getting crowded, not because of the villages, because of the growth outside.
Now, the villages is building a few apartments here and there, and they will have access to the village's amenities, the people that live in those apartments, like the lofts.
Right.
And like the ones that are supposed to go up in Spanish Springs.
Right.
They will have access. But all of these apartments, and there are so many out on Powell Road, 466A, they do not have golf cart access to the villages.
Nope.
What they do have is access to the town squares, just like everybody else. Anybody can come in and enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Anybody can come in and shop. Anybody can come into the restaurants. It is very crowded already, and it's getting more crowded every day. When I went, night before last, I went to the town square. There was no parking on the square. You have to go around behind the buildings, and then there's a lot of parking. But depending on your age and your mobility, you may not want to walk 300 yards. You know, and then you're going to be complaining about the crowds, and I understand 100%.
I get that. This is from Joyce. You said that the drinks that are sold at town square performances pay for the entertainment. Are you required to buy a drink if you sit and watch a show? Can you bring your own beverages, alcoholic or non-alcoholic? No, you're not required to buy a drink. You can go up and sit and enjoy the show as long as you want to, and the dancing. You can bring your own drinks.
You can't bring any alcohol in there. That's why they have the bars set up for you if you want to buy alcohol. But you can certainly go in there and you don't have to buy anything. And you can take a lunch, you can take sandwiches, you can take sodas.
Yeah, waters.
You can go there and camp out and have a good time. We find it one of the most inviting things about the villages.
Right.
True, we don't go like we did when we moved here, but it's still a great place, especially when you have company to go down there.
Absolutely.
We love it.
Mm-hmm. He's going to kiss.
I've been penny camp. You done?
I got a tickle.
Go ahead. They say they've enjoyed.
Stan and Terry are from Sentinel. What is it?
And the camera's on the right.
Oh, wait a minute.
Why did I do that? Yeah.
That's okay. Leave it. Blooper one.
You're down low, aren't you? You're too low. People can't see you. I said,
I heard just a teeny. It was teeny. It was teeny.
accumulated a what?
We gotta get in the car.
I'm gonna go on to the next thing here because I was gonna make a joke and it wasn't very good visual. Is that what you're doing?
I don't know.
Are you looking over Steve?
I never look at you because, well, look at you. You're going. Okay.
Carla Testa writes, do you ever learn your way around all those golf cart paths, or do you have to rely on the GPS forever? And she goes on to talk about the many paths and how confusing they are. They are confusing when you first get here.
Yeah.
But you'll kind of get a routine because there will be places that you go regularly and you'll get it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We still have that GPS app, but I never use it anymore.
I have not used it in years.
If I went to a new golf course that I hadn't been to, let's say I was going to Heron or Redfish Run or one of those, I might check that GPS just to make sure I know where it is. But most times we know where we're going. Now, when we go to, if we went to somebody's house we'd never been to, there are tons of side streets. We have no idea where they are.
Yeah.
You tell us the neighborhood, we can probably get there. But when it comes to particular streets, we would still rely on that GPS. There's a free version and a version, I think it costs $7 or so. That's the one that we use. We've also found that Google set on the bicycle icon is a real good way to get around with golf carts. It's time for Viewer of the Week. Our viewers of the week are John and Deb Ruffermato. They're from New York, and they're great contributors, not only to our channel, but to the villages as well. John is a whiz at electronics and automation, and he has been very helpful to us, and he posts suggestions and information on Talk of the Villages, helped lots of people here. I know I needed it, and I'm sure a lot of people here do also. John and Deb, congratulations, you're viewers of the week.
Stan and Terry are from Centennial, Colorado, and they watch us regularly with their adorable pup, Gibson. What a cute name is that?
I like that name.
Yes, and look at this photo. Sharp, great color. Oh, landscape. Colorado is one of the most beautiful places.
That's a great example of how we like our pictures. Thank you. Ted and Laurie are from Michigan. They're teachers like us.
Yay.
They said they love it. Still, they're ready to retire. We feel you.
Yeah, we knew that feeling.
They've been here twice and they can't wait to join us. By the way, we love those colorful shirts. Now, you're Denver Broncos fans, obviously, and so are we. In fact, we had a family member that got to play for the Broncos for a few years, and we went out there and watched some games. But that's a colorful picture, another one of the great pictures from today's show.
Cindy and Tom recently bought a villa in the village of Pennycamp, and Tom said that she's going to kill him for sending in this picture.
He sent it in anyway, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Tom, glad to see who wears some pants in your family. David and Jim spent 19 nights at Three Flags RV Park in Wildwood. They say they've enjoyed their trips to the villages and to Three Sister Springs up there with all those manatees. Now, they're RVers. You know, we had some friends stop by yesterday that were RVers. What a fun lifestyle that seems like.
Sure would be fun. Patrick O'Neill went to Hilton Head with his family, and he says that happiness is a family that plays with axes together. What?
That is a good-looking crew, and that's a nice picture. That's very crisp and clear. We love that. We used to do that.
Actually, we did.
Back before it was cool. I cut a giant part of a tree, and I made a big tripod and put this giant log up on it, and I bought a set of throwing tomahawks. And we would go out there, you know, like the Jed Clampett and his boys, and throw tomahawks. And that was a lot of fun. When we moved here, one of the last things I gave away, Jeff, I hope you're enjoying those tomahawks.
Oh,
we gave away our throwing tomahawks.
That's right.
Patrick, by the way, is a funny guy. If you watch and follow our posts, you'll see him commenting a lot. Really good sense of humor. Rick and Barbara Sanchez are from Oklahoma. Now, Barbara said Rick surprised her on her birthday with this Jerry and Linda t-shirt. What a guy. Thank you, Barbara. I thought really you were showing off your gun there for a minute. But we appreciate that. And you're frequent contributors, too, to the channel, and we appreciate that as well.
Joe and Francesca Baroden live in Monarch Grove, and we met them at the movies. We love going to the movies on Mondays after we do our Mailbag Monday.
It's funny, we saw them at Top Gun, the movie. That was a great movie.
Yes.
I love that movie.
Yes.
But then one day we went on a Tuesday, boom, it's empty.
It was.
$6 Monday, crowded. Tuesday,
nobody there.
Nobody there. But Joe is a videographer as well, and he's made some awfully nice videos that we've seen. And it was good to see you both. Jim and Lisa are from Buffalo, New York. They just went through a terrible blizzard.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Don't they look great? They're on track to be here in a year or two, and they're looking forward to that warm weather.
After they dig out of all that snow. That was just horrible.
That's a nice picture, too. Lots of good pictures this week. He's done a good job today. He's just been chilling back here. You ready? Take it away, buddy.
There's a restaurant down the road. It's looking for a one-legged waitress. Yep, IHOP. I hope I didn't offend any one-legged waitresses. Do you know what you call an 80-year-old cheerleader? Old Yeller! I like that one. Do you know why you can't hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom? You can't hear them because the P is silent. Hey everybody, thanks for watching and thank you for the great jokes too. See you next week.
Nice job, Gizmo. You funny fellow.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to our channel and like us on Facebook.
I hope you watched our video last Thursday. We interviewed 25 people. I put out a call and said, if you want to answer some questions about the villages, come and show up and we'll video. And it was good, and I had a good time. Did you?
Yeah, I did too. We should call that Meet Us on the Porch.
And this Thursday, part 2 of that video is going to come up, and we appreciate you watching that one as well.
Until next time.
See you when you get here.